Hey, Ryan.
Hi there. We're good to go. Let's roll.
Yeah, okay, let's just try this again. Hold on, give me a second.
Just to let you know, we're on with CBC National talking about mental health and the COVID-19 virus.
So why did you reach out to us about this issue?
Well, actually, excuse me, CBC pulled up right beside my vehicle as I was going downtown, and the gentleman rolled down the window, and I rolled down my window, and I just said hello, told him I was a mental health advocate, and then I rode across the country this past summer to advocate mental health, obviously, and he said, "Yeah, shoot me over some stuff, and I'll pass it over to the to CBC's room and the newsroom." And here we are now having a conversation. So that's kind of how she goes.
Great. And so, I'm working on a specific angle about how are people going to cope mental health wise with this with these new restrictions on our life. Now that we know it's going to go on for a few months too, why are you an advocate for mental health? How did you get to be in that position?
Well, I was diagnosed with bipolar close to 6 years ago now, and I've had 7 concussions due to playing professional hockey and junior hockey in my past. I've had a lot of trauma in my life. I have a daughter who also suffers from schizophrenia, and I guess I have a lot of compassion in my heart towards people that suffer from mental illnesses, and I can relate, and it's something that I really wanted to do. Outside of something greater than myself would be doing something for others on the whole giving back side of life. So anything anything that I can ever do to advocate mental health, I'm always all in. I never back away from that sensitive topic, as it's obviously a complex situation, especially right now. It's affecting me big time. It really is. And tell
me more about how the situation right now has been affecting you.
Well, for a guy that's very extreme, that is used to moving around, being able to going to the gym, going on lots of long hikes and whatnot, and just my whole routine's been pretty much kind of thrown off, due to this isolation mode. I was in California for 2 weeks, and when I got back, they told me that I had to stay home for 2 weeks, and so it's playing a lot of, it's almost like it's, COVID-19 is playing a lot of mind games with a lot of people, with millions of people around the world, billions, it's the whole world is being affected, and the fact of the matter is that almost every family in the world has someone who is dealing or coping with a mental health issue. And when that is happening, the whole family is affected. So right now, I'm very grateful. I have a strong support network around me that that is supporting obviously my ups and downs. But even if you don't have, say, depression, bipolar, or any history of mental health issues, this is a time where a lot of mental health issues could come streamlining into our consciousness, collectively. Because
and just I don't want to cut you off, but just to how does this kind of situation specifically, how can it contribute to mental health issues? Are you, you're saying, streamlining that kind of introducing that into people's lives? How does it do that?
Well, I think, human interaction, we thrive on togetherness, on community, and, all this social distancing, that even sounds weird. It sounds like it's something out of a movie. When you go, for myself, I go to bed at night, and it's almost like it's just like a weird dream. I wake up and then, the streets aren't, they're pretty bare. There's, not a lot of people out like, per se as per usual. People aren't saying hi as much. You go into a store to get the necessities, and, there's all these rules and restrictions that we're having to become accustomed to in a short amount of time. So literally, the whole world's been flipped over. This is a new world that we're living in. The old world is now gone, and it's going to take a lot of time to recoup from this. Not just mentally, but also financially. Obviously, I work in the film industry, and as of last week, over $52 billion of revenue had been lost in the film industry. So there's just a lot of losses that's going on right now. And when this first, when the severity of this virus kind of came into my conscious awareness, probably about a week and a half ago, when it really hit hard, I was like, I think that this virus is actually going to take out more people, not the virus, but with like mental health issues, stress. And obviously stress has been proven to, it causes diseases,
Right.
So, all the stress, the financial stress, the families that are that are dealing with, their kids not being able to go to school, kids that can't play with other kids, not being allowed over to other children, people's homes. It's the great disconnect. Never have we been so connected yet so disconnected at the same time.
Yeah. And you mentioned like your history, but I mean, this has got to be like completely different I don't know. Is it kind of completely different to like what you've dealt with in the past?
Absolutely.
Territory? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
well. So how do you cope with something like that just like there's no kind of precedent for it?
Well, I mean, I could sound like a superhero and say that I'm doing just fine, but I'd be lying. The fact of the matter, I've been doing a lot of pacing. I try to rest when I can, but then I'm up. I'm restless, irritable, and discontent. I'm a non-drinker. So, I'm not numbing myself. I'm feeling everything empathically. The vibe around the town is not just Vancouver, but the whole world is obviously being affected with the energy and the vibrations of people's thoughts. And, it's a go. You can only do so many push-ups and read so many books and watch so much Netflix before it gets to be a little bit overload, so to speak. But it's there's just so many variables that play into the situation, and I just urge people to stay home and stay healthy. That's what it is. And it all starts at the top. Body is a manifestation of mind. So the more that we can actually just connect to our breath, when we're feeling anxious and we're feeling like the world's coming to an end, just to really try to, really be firmly rooted on solid bedrock, so to speak, and just know that, pray and hope that, things like this have happened in the history of mankind. Not recently. SARS was nothing compared to this. This is massive. This is huge. So I mean that's the reality. So how do we deal with this collectively? There's all kinds of Facebook groups that are being set up and this and that, but at the end of the day, we all need hugs. We all need affection. And, there's a lot of people that are blessed to have families and love in the household, but there's millions of people out there that are dealing with this all alone. And to be able to go through this all alone, my deepest regards to those people, because I think we're going to see a lot of, I hate to say this, but I think we're going to see a lot of people taking their lives over this, because a lot of people are going I hate to say the word, but they're going stir crazy. They're losing it mentally. Their mental faculties aren't strong enough to withhold this.
Yeah. Yesterday we kind of got the confirmation that I'm sure like many people were already kind of feeling this, dreading this, but we got the confirmation that it's going to be this way for a few months.
Yeah.
How do you like deal with that information? Do you just focus on like one day at a time, or like do you have to kind of look beyond that to when things will go back to normal again? Like what's helping you deal with that information?
Well, I think just being humble enough
or if you're not dealing with it too, that's fine too.
I'm dealing with it the best way I can, but I think, just being accepting of the moment that all we have is this moment right now. Things could get worse moment by moment, or, the next thing you know, things could get better. It's just the not knowing. It's the uncertainty that's causing a lot of the anxiety with people. And, having to prepare yourself, for a few months of this isolation and social distancing and whatnot. Those are precautions that we're all going to have to take, obviously. And I think it's just the not knowing what's going to happen. Obviously life is very unpredictable as it is, but at the same time, when we have a pandemics with the severity of this COVID-19, it's just, people, it's their heads are spinning, and, mental health issues or not, I think everybody is realizing that we're all leveling up here. Nobody's any better. Nobody's any different, than the next. A lot of the celebrity, professional athlete, doesn't matter. We're all going through this, and we're I think maybe it's a time for a lot of self-introspection with not only ourselves but humanity as well. But what we've actually done to ourselves, sometimes I call it society illness, that we've bestowed all these things upon ourselves. We've cut into nature and created the desire for money and materialism and all that kind of stuff is actually falling to the wayside, and showing how unimportant a fancy car is, and how important our health truly is, and the care,
And Ryan, can I ask what your kind of current situation is? Are you living with family? Like, who are you with right now?
I'm staying with a couple of friends right now. We're doing our best just to be there for each other. We're creating a lot of video content, as I got a YouTube channel as well, and I started up an Instagram account when I wrote it across Canada, where people could open up dialogue with me on Instagram. And I could give them coping mechanisms, obviously, when they're going through certain types of anxiety, depression, or, bipolar, manic episodes and whatnot, because I'm very, very in tune with that. So I don't know how many people are going to be listening to me speak to you on this, as I'm actually going through a little bit of a panic and anxiety myself right now. But I do have an Instagram handle that they could reach out to me if they want to add me, and I would be more than happy to talk. I believe that, mental health, You Talk Day should be 365 days a year, should be open discussion for mental health. I truly believe that.
Yeah.